Hey, welcome to my channel, or welcome back, loyal viewers. I'm Carrie, the nosy housefrau, and today I'm sticking my nose in on the piping hot tea that is Shane Dawson Jeffree star 5th episode in the series of 9. And I know the 6th one is coming out today, but I'm going to hurry up and throw this up there because I want to get my thoughts out on this before I watch the other one. So maybe it's a little pre-after show. And this is a warning to anyone who doesn't like these people or thinks that the gushing is saccharinely insipid. I understand this is your cue to leave because I'm going to gush. This is going to be Gush Fest 2019. I loved this episode more than the last one. The last couple were kind of similar, and even though I really enjoyed them, perhaps there's an ebb and a flow. This one had everything. The drama, many laughs. You get to see the hilarious side of Jeffree Star, and friendship, and the whole business being born. This palette, we got to see glimpses of it. I loved it. So I'm going to commence with the gushing. And when it started out, we have the setup of Shane just being hilarious doing Andrew's makeup. Andrew had some skin issues and definitely needed some help. But this episode really showed us how hard Shane has been working to learn the business and learn makeup. And truly, he really is a quick study. I mean, I think they would have probably built up his skills no matter what, but I have to give him credit. He really was working hard and did create some very acceptable, good looks with the makeup. We get to see glimpses of Ryland, who is just adorable, always smiling and in the background. And it's funny, he has his whole bathroom set up for this, and I imagine in this big house there's other bathrooms too, but it was kind of funny that Ryland needed to get in there. This is a good place for him to set up all of the makeup. The lighting is very natural. There's a lot of space. Normally you would have his and his sinks in this bathroom, but I think it's just his and more of his. It's all Shane's right now, and Ryland has really been obviously very supportive of that. So we get to see glimpses of him being right on board and supportive. We get to see him doing Andrew's makeup. And then we got really real with Morgan, who is the sister of Ryland. They are a family. She has her own channel with over 2 million viewers last that I checked. Could be even more by now. But she talked about not feeling quite accepted or feeling that people were being mean to her. And she says, I'm thinking of getting my teeth straight. I feel like people will like me better if my teeth are straight. And I can relate to that. I know so many of us can. It's things we've all said. Like I've said, because you have to point out the irrationality of a thought like that, and it makes total sense. Even though you know it's not true, you're thinking, well, obviously this is why I'm being mistreated. I say all the time, I want to be treated better, so I'm going to get thin. So I really related to this. The whole beginning of this show was a trigger for me, but it was okay. It was palatable. Shane walking to the gym, which is on his compound. Let's face it, that house is a compound. So he goes over to the gym. He's been working out for a week. He's putting all of himself into this business. It's almost like he doesn't want to disappoint Jeffree or himself. He wants to live up to what he's been given, and he's putting the work in, definitely. I just thought, the way he was talking about working out for a week, and the way he felt about himself and the way Morgan felt about herself. This was a really good episode for people who struggle with incongruence. Incongruence being when your real self doesn't live up to your ideal self, which is something I struggle with all the time. And it was really important to see this. And the whole thing about, getting her lips injected or, Botox, things she never would have thought of before. It was really very good to see them cover this. And Jeffree also chimed in on her just liking herself. They had this kind of little pajama party. And, Shane's like laying on Jeffree's legs. Like, these people are very comfortable with each other. They're all hanging out. And, she's talking about it, how she would, and Jeffree's like, well, I get, the fake teeth or whatever. So they weren't anti-plastic surgery, which I really appreciated. And yet they were also saying you don't need to do anything to love yourself just the way you are. It just really is about, doing what you want for yourself. So that was a great message to the whole thing that I think resonated with everybody based on what I saw on Twitter. But there was drama too. Shane went to Jeffree's and saw that Jeffree had something else stolen, and it was hilarious when Jeffree goes, I feel like every time I see you, I'm like, oh my God, you won't believe what's happening. And they're all laughing, and he's like, and they make this hilarious joke about Trisha Paytas. He's like, no, I'm that friend. He goes, sorry, Trisha, game over. That was very funny. They went in, and we really got to see the nitty gritty about the case and everything coming together. They were showing all of these possible cases. Obviously, they have their logo. They looked at the conspiracy cases. They just kind of left Shane feeling flat, and that was his call. I was so glad that he's not letting any kind of insecurity or anxiety stop him from really thinking about this product and really putting in his own marketing input. I liked that, and I agreed that there was something there was a wow factor missing. And the palette that everybody liked that about the box with the knobs on it, I was like, please don't pick that one. I know that this was just a prototype and it could be a lot nicer, but first of all, we like our stuff to lay flat. And I also think the gimmicky aspect of it with those was like a 1970 Etch-a-Sketch. That wasn't really Illuminati. You would have done better making a spy or gadget case versus that. And I did think with the mini palette, I just have to put in my own marketing input. What do you guys think about this? Wouldn't this have been cool? A cryptex for the mini palette. Could have even done it with the big palette, but that would have been too much. But for the mini palette, a cryptex, there's a couple of options where you could have one tray pull out and another one under it. You could have it push out from the side. But I was thinking just a cryptex where the letters on top spelled out conspiracy and mini, and then the other all random letters could have been from Shane and Jeffree's names, you know, the random letters in the cryptex. But once you open it from the front, there's a clasp that opens. You can even have it try to have like a pop open from the side, but once you get funny with packaging, then you've got gadgets that could break. So you want stuff that's less likely to break. But anyway, you could have had that and had, you know, the colors fit in there. I think that would have been cool. And then what do you think of this for Lippy's obelisks? Like with lipsticks in it, or brow, even like the brow. Some of the brow stuff looks like it comes in an obelisk type of shape. So that would have been cool for the other product. Just my little marketing input, but I do love what that woman was coming up with and the ideas, and nobody was getting offended. It was nice that they were thinking about that. They're like, I don't want to reject somebody's hard work, but you have to go with what you can live with. You want to feel that wow factor. So I'm glad he's putting that into it. He doesn't want to disappoint consumers. I liked that they pulled out different boxes and shapes for them to look at for his full-on, you know, the whole package thing. That was very clever. One of them was velvet. I was like, please don't go with velvet, please. No, a lot of people, just some people maybe have haptodysphoria and don't like the texture of velvet. I'm just saying. I did like some of the laughs were hysterical, like when they were talking about plastic surgery and they just cut to Tana Monjou going, me. I was cracking up so much. I love that Jeffree speaks what I call Luxese. You know, once you start getting fluent in rich Luxese, you really have a hard time stopping. It ingrains itself. It was like the most brilliant marketing on YouTube ever because everybody speaks Luxese, and you'll hear Jeffree going, oh, this is amazing, the house. Like, and it makes sense to me because I speak Luxese too. It's hysterical. And sometimes it just fits in perfectly with how you want to express yourself. So hats off to the nods to Rich Lux. I couldn't be happier for him. I think that Shane really showed how he was feeling without feeling too insecure, like when he said, you know, that was too hot topic from a while ago. He's no dummy. The logo looks good, and probably all of you know that the key to a logo is that I should be able to look at it and hear the company name just from that image. So I'll show you images. I won't even have to say the company name. You're going to know what it is based on good marketing. And I think that Shane has done that with this. I was really so relieved when they said lipstick on a pig, because that has been running through my head. My mother used to say that all the time. You can't put lipstick on a pig. You know what I mean? That was just the extent of that phrase, because it's, you know, putting lipstick on a pig just says it all. It's still a pig. So that just was so resounding in my head that I was really glad that he noticed it too. He's not too young to have known that phrase. It was funny. But the whole pig thing really works for him with the lippies going in that. It's just genius marketing. I saw some really cute makeup of people doing their faces like that. Candice Vanity, hats off, love you. And look at this great look she did. She was so proud of, rightfully so. So the next day, after all of that, Shane starts downward spiraling a little bit and feeling the anxiety, and you know it can't be good because he's sitting in the beanbag chair. That's got to be like the go-to place for when you're feeling anxiety in the house. You know somebody's feeling bad when they're in the beanbag chair, maybe because I associate that with the Peanuts. But I have to say, he did a great job on his own makeup. He did a great job on Andrew's makeup, and he's really learning. And you know, that's how you learn, by doing it. Sometimes when people learn something new, they struggle. Particularly, I've seen this with languages. I'll give you an example. If someone is learning English, they don't want to try it because they're embarrassed that their English isn't perfect, or that they're embarrassed about their accent. No, you have to try stuff before you get good at it. That is how you walk before you run. And I love that he is putting so much hard work into making his body better and making that mind-body connection. So a lot of this is how successful friendships work. He has been positive for Jeffree, but it's clear to me that this new working on his body, becoming his better self, that has to do with being inspired by Jeffree. So friendships, when they're nurturing, both sides get nurtured, and it's this really great mesh of happiness. And that's not something you have to be Jeffree or Shane to have. It's a good reminder to me that I am so lucky too for the friendships that I have. And speaking of friendships, I'm going to get to see some of my online friends this weekend, and I'm so excited about that. I feel like I know a lot of these people already, so I'm looking forward to it. And I'm also going to give my thoughts on episode 6, where I think we'll see what they actually came up with on the package. The triangle seemed obvious from the beginning, and that's probably, I'm guessing, what they go with, but I don't know. I loved some of the previews. Did you see Shane crying and Jeffree hugging him? I mean, that friendship is so much fun to watch. It was really almost kind of funny. Like, I was tearing up, but I was also laughing because Shane reminded me of my husband in the delivery room. He was looking at his stuff. He was like a father who was looking at his child for the first time. That's what it looked like to me. And I was really happy for him. And just him and Jeffree are enjoying this success together. And I think their friendship is going to be lifelong, don't you? Anyway, I will talk to you all again soon. If you've listened this far, I really do appreciate you. If you're brand new, do consider subscribing. Please, everybody, do like. I will link all of the stuff I'm hawking below. Push my Patreon, my Teespring, my merch, and my P.O. Box and all that good stuff. And thank you very much to my friend in Montana. I did get your letter, and I will be writing back. So, everybody, until next time, Hausfrau out.